Charlotte in round 5 of the NASCAR Nextel Cup Championship chase, and Jeff Gordon did it again, won another race, and in bizarre fashion. It was a gas mileage finish. Everybody thought they were running out of gas. Jeff Gordon thought his tank was dry, but he managed to have enough to finish the race. But he almost lost it to Clint Bowyer and to Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman blew by on the restart with about 5 laps to go, and the next thing you know, he blew a tire. He says he blew a tire. Goodyear says it was something else, but we don't know what it was. We haven't had a chance to check that out yet. Clint Bowyer did a great job, and so did Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie Johnson dominated the first half of the race, made a good comeback after spinning by himself. The tires, I thought, were a little too hard. Could have had a 5th-place finish or a 6th-place finish. Had to make a late stop for a splash of gas and finished 14th. Finds himself 68 points behind Jeff Gordon going into Martinsville. Everyone else in the championship race found Charlotte to be a championship graveyard. Tony Stewart in particular had a rough night. He came in 154 points down, leaves 198 points down, hit several cars on pit road, got really irritated at some of the people that weren't in the chase blocking his way. The chase has just been rather bizarre for a lot of people. Toyota came back down to earth. Brian Vickers didn't even make the field. He almost won the 600 in the spring. His teammate A.J. Allmendinger, though, did a good job. And I think that Toyota may be turning the corner, but they didn't really have as much punch as they showed at Talladega. The tires were an issue over the 4.5-hour race. I'm not really sure what the issue was. They were a little too hard. Some of the guys had problems with right fronts. And Ryan Newman, of course, was complaining about one of his tires toward the end when as he was leading, it blew out on him. Kyle Busch had a classy performance. He continues to impress me, and I think he finally impressed Rick Hendrick, who will be regretting losing Kyle Busch. And I think Richard Childress is regretting that he didn't sign Kyle Busch. Joe Gibbs is looking in Fat City right now with Kyle joining Denny Hamlin, who had a terrible night, transmission problems and everything else under the sun, and Tony Stewart next year on the new Toyota roster. Ryan Newman looked good. He hasn't won in 2 years, almost won this race. Ricky Rudd looked very nice coming back after a 6-week layoff with a shoulder injury. Could have finished as high as 6th or 5th, but he ran out of gas at the end, too, and finished 11th. The strangest story of the weekend was Michael Waltrip, who sold 50% of his team to an unknown businessman from London, Rob Kaufman. Did a little research on him, and he's one of the world's richest men, number 557, I believe, in Forbes' list of richest billionaires in the world. $1.8 billion personal worth. Salary last year was $66 million. He says his investment in Michael's team is a personal investment, and obviously he's got enough money to do it. I asked Rob Kaufman, well, how many times are you going to come to the track next season? He says he's going to watch his investment on the internet, which I think is a pretty strange thing. NASCAR finally maybe seeing the light on the car tomorrow. They put the Busch version of the car tomorrow in the wind tunnel this last week with a spoiler, traditional spoiler, not the wing on the back, and they're going to try some other things too. They were asking for some input from Detroit. They're looking at the Mustang Camaro concept for 2009. I think they should do that in 2008 and get the Busch Series off dead center and get something going on that. So that's the story leaving Charlotte. That's Mike Mulhern for the Winston-Salem Journal and JournalNow.com, and we're on the road to Martinsville.